Amanda Knox spent 4 years in prison in Italy for a murder she did not commit. And tonight she explains why she went back. Good evening, I'm Monique Minglavin.
And I'm Gary Horker. Monique sat down for an exclusive interview with Amanda Knox. At 5:30, she explained how she's supporting a bill aimed at preventing false confessions like the one she made when she and her boyfriend were accused of killing her roommate, Meredith Kircher, in Italy back in 2007. It changed her life.
But Gary, now she has her life back. But when you get to Amanda Knox's home, this is what greets you right here. This is a ceramic piece, and it says Amanda and Raffaele are innocent in Italian.
Welcome back to Futurekron, where I give my psychic insights into just about everything, including unsolved crime. In this video, I conduct a fresh reading into the Amanda Knox case that occurred in late 2007. All eyes were drawn to the Italian city of Perugia for the gruesome murder of Meredith Kircher, a 21-year-old from Surrey, England. This case unfolded with twisted tales of sex games gone wrong, emerging from the picturesque facade of Perugia's steep mountain streets and centuries-old buildings. Meredith Kircher's tragic murder and the subsequent trials of her American roommate Amanda Knox and Knox's boyfriend, Raffaele Solicito, captivated global attention. Despite the lack of conclusive physical evidence pointing to them, Italian prosecutors honed in on Knox, fueling sensationalized narratives about her character based on her MySpace nickname, Foxy Knoxy. The case took numerous twists and turns, leading to convictions, appeals, and finally acquittals after years of legal battles. Ultimately, Meredith's boyfriend, Rudy Guede, whose footprints and DNA were found all over the crime scene, was convicted of murdering Kircher in 2008 and ended up serving 13 years in prison before being released in 2021. Join me as I delve into the psychic insight surrounding this complex and controversial case, exploring the mysteries and truths that lie beneath the surface. Before I get started, let me explain how I work. I start with asking a question, and in this case, who murdered Meredith Kircher? From there, I let the images in my mind's eye unfold and take note. After that, I'll kind of reverse engineer a case, especially when I want to drill down and get more details. This includes reading articles based on keywords or phrases that come to mind, and then weaving them into the videos that you see on my channel. Let's get straight to the point. When consulting the Akashic records about Meredith's killer, a clear image emerges. A white male with bangs styled straight down over his forehead. He appears slim and had easy access to her unlocked room. Initially, I didn't link this individual to Amanda's boyfriend, Raffaele, but the bangs provided a clue. While reviewing images for this video, I paused at a photo taken on the day the police arrived, showing Amanda and Raffaele observing. In that picture, Raffaele's bangs were styled straight down, a look he has since drastically altered multiple times. Here's the thing. I don't think his intention going into that room was to commit murder. It's challenging for me to discern a clear motive beyond the possibility of this being some sort of drug-fueled, misguided, childish prank. I say this because I can visualize Amanda in the background, laughing and fully dressed. Let's remember, Amanda confessed to using drugs with Raffaele on the night of the incident, stating that it impacted her recollection of events. So if Raffaele's initial intent wasn't to harm Meredith, how did things escalate? A bit of background context. Meredith and Amanda had a complicated relationship, more like frenemies, appearing friendly outwardly but harboring animosity internally. Meredith wasn't exactly a saintly person either. She could be rude and haughty towards Amanda. This friction led Amanda to hold a grudge against her roommate, likely venting about it to her boyfriend Raffaele. Meredith and Raffaele's argument escalates, leading Meredith to call out for her boyfriend Rudy. I can visualize Amanda leaving the room and returning with a knife, passing it to Raffaele while Meredith's back is turned. He then cuts her shoulder, triggering her to attack him. In the struggle, Raffaele gains control and fatally slashes her throat, halting her movements. Both Amanda and Raffaele are shocked by what has happened. Raffaele drops the knife, and at this point, the situation could have ended. However, Amanda retrieves the knife and hands it back to Raffaele as Meredith fights for her life. He proceeds to stab her multiple times, and they hastily leave the scene.
A sentire il dibattito, il diverbio che nasce fra i due, sapendo che Meredith in precedenza si era lamentata contro Amanda Knox per
Okay, for podcast listeners, this is an interview of Rudy, and sorry if I've mispronounced his last name previously. I think it could be pronounced Good or Guede, being interviewed by an Italian newscaster. He was in Meredith and Amanda's home at the time of the murder. I'm putting this in because he does a great job of explaining events from his perspective, and I think he's being 100% honest. What he's saying is that he was in the bathroom on the opposite end of the house, sitting on the toilet, listening to his music on his headphones. Apparently, he and Meredith had been fooling around, but he had a spicy meal previously and needed some time in the bathroom. He hears the argument between Amanda and Meredith and decides to sit tight, at least another 10 minutes. He puts on his headphones and listens to loud music to drown out the argument. It isn't until he hears a very loud scream that he jumps off the toilet without flushing. And yes, this is confirmed in evidence, but I'm not going to put the picture in here. And runs into Amanda and Raffaele, who is carrying a sharp knife. Raffaele accidentally slices him across the palm of his hand, and the two exit the house, leaving poor Rudy to figure out what just happened. I'll put the link to the full interview in the description, and I encourage you to listen. So back to my reading. Rudy then entered Meredith's room in a panicked and chaotic manner, leaving a trail of bloody footprints and significant DNA evidence in his wake. He discovered Meredith's body, noting the numerous stab wounds before hastily collecting his belongings. As he prepared to flee, he covered her with a large comforter, a gesture typically associated with women, according to Italian investigators. This act turned out to be Rudy's critical error. While he was present at the scene and engaged in petty crimes around the neighborhood, my insight suggests that his culpability was limited to running away rather than direct involvement in the murder. Eventually, he left the country as well. Bad move. Due to Amanda and Raffaele's consistent and convincing stories, along with Rudy's unfortunate timing in requesting a separate trial, Rudy ended up serving a 13-year prison sentence, while Amanda and Raffaele were released after just 3 years. Interestingly, despite the outcome, many Italians still believe Amanda Knox is guilty, while Raffaele managed to stay relatively unnoticed throughout the whole ordeal. Looking back, had the investigators focused more on Raffaele or tried all involved parties together, it's possible that Amanda and Raffaele would still be in jail and Rudy could have been set free. Presently, Amanda Knox faces legal proceedings for alleged slander against her former employer, Patrick Lumumba, whom she falsely accused of Meredith's murder. It's unlikely she'll serve additional jail time, as experts anticipate she'll be credited for time already served. Opinions on Amanda's mindset vary, with some labeling her as a psychopath, while others refrain from such conclusions. While not an expert, I do pay attention to behavioral patterns when doing my psychic readings, and I'm cautious about Amanda's ability to switch emotions. If someone sought my psychic insights on such a person, particularly as a potential life partner, I would advise caution. So that's it for now. This is by no means a thorough explanation, but it should give you some fresh insights into the possible motives of Meredith's killer. If you have any questions about this case, suggestions for future topics, or your own intuitive insights to share, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more psychic insights. Thanks for listening.